Okay, this is not going to be a long stream. Going to be about an hour or so. I will be playing Fishing Planet later. Uh, so, anyway, to give you a quick update, I have installed my 2070. Seems to be working fine. We'll find out. Um, yeah, everything seems to be going well. So, yeah, we'll deal with that. So, anyway, getting on to the topic, yeah, I mean, people are going crazy at the moment. Coronavirus is off the scale in fucking America. We've got it bobbing up and down in Britain mainly because of England and people going partying in England and not wearing masks and basically just thinking that, well, the coronavirus is gone now that we're starting to open up the economy again, you know. Scotland has decided to hold off on opening a lot of stuff. They're opening slowly. They're doing testing and they're doing it's tracing as well. When they find someone who's infected, that they're using um, their media communications, like you know, their mobile phones and stuff like that, to track down who they've been meeting with, who they've been talking to, who they've been going out with, and let them know that they could be infected and they should get tested. And then we're tracking people that they have contacted as well over the period that they might have been infected. So we're pretty much getting on top of it in Scotland. Wales, I believe, is doing a good job as well. It's a very small country, Wales, compared to Scotland and England. Scotland's small compared to England. Ireland is doing a good job as well. We seem to be getting on top of it for the most part in Britain. Europe's doing a good job as well, basically. Starting to place up. We've got to watch out for the spread of the coronavirus, but basically doing a pretty good job in Europe and Britain. England is another matter. England is still kind of like America. If it wasn't for England, if England was doing what Scotland, Ireland, and Wales had done, we probably wouldn't be having hundreds of people a day still getting infected. But England is full of a lot of fucking ignorant, stupid fucking people. If they were in America, they would be Trump supporters, but instead they are fucking Boris Johnson supporters, you know, basically. And basically racists, nationalists, you could call them, but racists. And yeah, they're going fucking crazy nuts about who can tell them to wear a mask, blah blah. The same shit as what you see in America, right? I mean, I will be, you know, showing a few videos. I hope I don't get lost my channel over this, but you know, I just feel kind of strongly about, uh, you know, this. I need to make comments on it because I feel strong about it. Right? You've got a bunch of people who, you know, like me, think that the coronavirus is a serious fucking thing. We're semi well educated. We understand the idea of disease and how it spreads, and then you've got another whole bunch of people. You know, I'm not saying they're illiterate, but basically not as well educated, not willing to believe the education they were given, go to church, listen to all these idiots telling them that, you know, well, we've got ozone fucking machines and that will kill the coronavirus. And no, it doesn't. It might kill any coronavirus in your church before people turn up. But you've got to realise that, no, those machines are off because you can't fucking breathe ionised air. It's poisonous. It's not good for you, right? So those machines can't be on while people are in the church. They can only do it for 10 minutes to kill whatever's in there, and then they open the doors and let people in and turn the machines off. Anybody stepping through that door that's got coronavirus is now reinfecting that church. That church is no longer coronavirus free because people who are infected come to the church and are bringing it in. You've got to be an idiot to not understand that. If you're not wearing masks and you're sitting next to people that you don't know, you have got no idea who they are. Okay, they're Christians. You believe, oh, well, all Christians are good people. Yeah, but he doesn't know or she doesn't know she's infected. They've caught it somewhere else. They've caught it at a fucking a barbecue somewhere, you know, some restaurant they went to, some pub, because, you know, people are opening pubs and restaurants now, you know. They caught it at a hairdresser, who fucking knows, right? Now they're sitting next to you in the fucking church, and yeah, the air was clean when you went into the church, but now it's unclean because somebody sitting next to you has got coronavirus and they're breathing it out into that. And very soon, how long are you in that church? An hour or so? 2 hours? Wasn't some pastor rant and rave like Trump about this, that, and the other bloody thing? And all that time, the guy next to you who's got coronavirus, the woman next to you, and they're breathing out their coronavirus vapours and you're breathing it in. And you haven't got a fucking mask on because I believe the church is safe. It's like all you idiots that go to Trump bloody rallies and think, yeah, come here, you know. He's up on the stage, miles away from you, he's not breathing your fucking air. They've probably got blowers at the back that are blowing air through from outside into the auditorium so that nothing's getting up onto the stage, he's not breathing your shit in. But you're all sitting there with that air come through, they've got blowers and fans spraying water to humidify a place and cool it down, and you're breathing that water vapour in the air, people breathing into it. Now all that water vapour is fucking infected, and then you're breathing in as it fucking cools you down. Take your mask, oh, that's fucking, oh, cool air. Yeah, and you're breathing in all that fucking corona shit, you know. You're all getting fucking infected, man. All the fucking Secret Service who went with Trump to Tulsa, they're all fucking quarantined. The people who went, the people that are running this campaign, doing all the behind the scenes shit, putting all that shit out there, all those fans setting it all up, they're all fucking infected. They're all fucking quarantined, you know what I mean? You're fucking idiots, man. Fucking stop doing this shit. Stop going into places without masks and congregating and screaming and shouting in each other's faces about how much you love Trump. You're just spreading the fucking virus, mate. So Arizona and Texas have opened up, and yeah, you know, look how that's fucking worked out, you know what I mean? People are saying, some of them have been opened up for weeks. They didn't wait for the governor, they just started fucking opening shops up and saying, fuck you, you know, the cops did nothing about it, and they just going around shutting them down. And yeah, you know, now we've got like 9,000 cases in one day almost in Florida. Almost 9,000 cases in one day. That's fucking New York at the peak in fucking March, you know what I mean? March, April, fucking, you know what I mean? Peak. Fucking New York, fucking infection rates. In Florida, Texas, Arizona. No, of course it's fucking fine. No, you're going to be fine. The coronavirus is just going to disappear one day. Yeah, but you're all fucking dead and there's nobody else to catch it. That's when it's fucking going to go away. Anyway. So, let me pull this up. Let's go back a couple of videos. So, I know that one. We'll go back to. No, was it that one? Yeah, it's this one, right? Right. So anyway, this guy is funny, right?
Hey, what do you say? My Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, your sisters there, the Pony Express, Vic DiBattista here for another episode of Shitty Private Messages. Well, as you all now know, I get thousands of wonderful messages each and every day from my wonderful fans all over the world.
Right, so this guy's talking about people who leave chat messages in his chat, right? And yeah, to be honest with you, I don't do a lot of YouTube videos anymore, but I used to get this as well. You know, you're always going to find people that come in and they leave some shitty message about how you're a paedophile and, you know, where the fucking state you with your big fucking beard, you probably rape kids and all that sort of stuff, right? I mean, I don't get half the shit on my live streams and Twitch as I used to get on YouTube, right? But, having said that, this guy deals with it better than I ever did, you know, because I just used to ignore them. I never blocked them, I never deleted the messages, I just left them up so that other people come by and see that person's name on YouTube, that's their username, read their fucking comment, and then they would know what kind of shit that cunt is, right? He's doing the same thing, except he's personally making a video. I've never made any videos about bad comments. I couldn't care, you know. As I posted in his here, yeah, Yep, I don't care about trolls and shit talking douchebags. It gives me a smile to know they watch me long enough to make a comment. Have a good week, Vic. Right, and that's my attitude. I don't give a shit. People are entitled to be upset. They're entitled to have their thoughts and ideas, and they're entitled to leave messages on my my videos, my VODs, my chat. You know, I'm not interested in fucking trying to cancel them. I'm not into the cancel culture fucking shit. Right, it's a big thing to some people. I don't care. Right, these people, you know, wife will get them. You know, if you walk about with an attitude like that, a wife will get you. Right. Anyway, let's just. I'm not going to play the whole video. It's a 7 minute, but I'm just going to play like a minute or something.
It's amazing and gratifying to see where people are writing me from. But I do get some, how shall I say it? I do get some less than civil comments from people who apparently watch me even though they don't like me. Now, first of all, let's get this straight. When I do a shitty private messages, I get lots of comments from my supportive fans who tell me, don't let the nasty ones get to you, or don't change who you are, we got your back, and stuff like that. And of course, I appreciate it. But I want each of you to know that the shitty private messages don't bother me one iota.
Yeah, of course it.
I'm not going to change a thing just because some cowardly shit piper is hiding behind a Facebook page with no picture and a newsfeed that looks like a Russian bot created it in Sakakistan. Please, these messages don't bother me a bit. You don't have some haters, that means you're not successful. So, let's see what a few dog blowers have to say, shall we? And remember, for legal reasons, I can't say their last name. Okay, our first message comes from Tina T. Tina writes, I wrote a comment on your Facebook page and your fans attacked me and you didn't come to my defense. So I am no longer a fan. Goodbye. Tina, first of all, I have no idea what you wrote because you deleted your comment. How do I know what you said? If you said you like to adopt children out of orphanages and shoot them out of cannons into brick walls, well, then I could understand why so many people had a problem with that. Second of all, I have 4 social media platforms. I have 1.8 million followers. I put up video posts every single day on each one of them, Tina. You see, Tina, there are literally thousands of comments pouring into each post. I also have a life. And I have business meetings, and I eat, and shit, and shower, and work out, and, well, I guess what I'm trying to say nicely is, if you post a comment, I might not have time to see it as quickly as you
want me to. Yeah.
So because I didn't come to your rescue at the exact moment you were getting responses from other people, that's why you stopped being a fan? Look, I'm sorry you were kicked in the head by a mule when you were young, and this has left you without the ability to think critically. Tina, I want you to step back. Really think about what you're saying, and then sit in a bowl of Clorox so the corona can't enter into your fish bucket or your deuce blaster. Gabis? Good.
Okay, I think that kind of shows you the kind of guy is, right? I like his videos. He does a lot of different kind of things. He is a comedian after all, and this is like a platform where he's used. I don't go to these other platforms, but I watch him on YouTube because he's entertaining. And whenever I'm having a horrible, depressive fucking time, I'm not always fucking like chipper and up. I can be caught. And today I was having a horrible fucking day as well this morning. Right? Lots of pain, had to take double the painkillers that I normally take. It's a fucking horrible, miserable, hot, fucking sweaty fucking day here, even though it's all cloudy and all that. It's fucking hot, man. It's 24, but it was 25.6 hours, it's 24.3, it's dropped a little bit, maybe that's why I'm feeling a little better. I've also had a few whiskeys and I've got a few fags. But yeah, so I can, this guy, man, I can watch one of his 7-minute videos and it cheers me the fuck up. Anyway, so here's another one as well, right? And this guy, he talks fucking sense.
Hey, what do you say? My Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, your sister's ass.
People.
Thick D the title here now.
See, this video shows me the truth about fucking life, about people, right? Some people grow up and they listen to the people around about them and accept what they're told, but is that's the way they've got to look at life, blah 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 blah. Now, I was brought up one way until I was like probably 8, I suppose. Somewhere between 5 and 8 year old. Something happened to me, like my brain started working. You know what I mean? I wasn't just going to listen to everything people told me and just accept it. I started asking questions, and adults don't like children asking them questions they don't have a good answer for. So when I was growing up in school, most of the people, teachers, most of them were Christians. They were religious, and they expected that everybody was going to understand the Bible and all that. No, between 5 and 8, I didn't really know a lot about the Bible. All I knew was the stories that my grandmother, who was a Christian, told me at her knee. I would sit in the phone, she would read the Bible and tell me. That's all I knew about the Bible, right? But I had started to have doubts. Getting around about 7, 8, I was starting to have doubts about all this stuff about God and all that. And I was asked, because teachers that they're supposed to teach you, math and English and, how to fucking, day shit, right? They're supposed to be teaching you the bit, I'm talking about 5 to 8 year old, man, right? They're supposed to be teaching the bit. They shouldn't be interjecting their fucking either political or their religious views on you. But a lot of the teachers I noticed when I was between 5 and 8 were talking about religion during the class and stuff, and about what fucking Samson did and what happened to fucking Jacob and all. And I'm like, does this really have anything to do with fucking what I'm trying to learn here, And it's like, half the lesson would be fucking biblical fucking bullshit, I was disappointed in my education. It wasn't so bad when I got to like 12, 13, right? But in my younger years, I'm talking about 5 year old when you start school. We used to start school 5. You go to what do you call it? Primary school. We called it in Scotland, right? Primary school. You start 5 year old, right? You can start a couple of months earlier, but when it depends on when your next 5th birthday is when you get to go to school, right? Or did back then anyway. I think it's all changed now. So I became a bit weird to do it with the bullshit, and all that crap about God is watching you and all that fucking shit. You got to do right. It wasn't a thing, right? Because I've seen the playground bullying people. They weren't giving a fuck whether God was watching them, right? So that's another story. I've already talked about all that bully bashing in school. Ended up standing up for myself and my friends to stop bullies fucking, basically come up and just taking all the money and crisps and all that shit off us, right? But anyway, I'm so getting back to what he's talking about here, right? Fucking idiots who grow up and just believe everything they've been told all their fucking life and have never used their brain. A brain which they keep telling us God fucking gave you, and the free fucking will. God gave you free will. You don't have to believe that shit. You can use your own brain. He gave you that brain, and surely it works in a way that you can use it to question and understand the fucking universe that supposedly God fucking provided you. No. A lot of people are not interested in using that brain, and they will fucking fight against you when you try to tell them, this is my right to fucking use my fucking free thought, my freedom of choice, my freedom of fucking will. God gave me it, why can't I fucking use it? No, you're not supposed to use it. Apparently God gave you it, but he didn't mean you to have it, or he didn't want you to use it. And it's like, what the fuck? This was the conflict I had before I was 8 fucking year old. They're telling you God gave you this beautiful fucking brain of yours, and then they're telling me you're not supposed to use it. You're supposed to just believe everything that's written in a book by men. Doesn't matter that they say that God fucking, influenced these men to write these writings, because that's all bullshit as well. That's what people are going to say in order to try and force you to believe that their writings have any power or strength, right? Well, I went, no, these things I'm saying from an older point of view. But at the time, when I was like, between 5 and 8, I just didn't believe what these people were saying to me. Because I could see with my own eyes in the playground that it didn't have that effect on people. God wasn't fucking. Um, God wasn't influencing people to do good. He was leaving them to do whatever they fucking wanted, and what I wanted was the freedom to think for myself and ask questions and get them fucking answered. And when you ask adults, as a child, if you ask adults a question that they feel uncomfortable about answering, they start to put that on you. What's wrong with you? Why are you asking these difficult? Why are you putting me in this position of not being able to answer you because I think you're too young or you shouldn't be here? And, and it's like, just fucking tell me the truth. You know what I mean? Simple as that. The truth can't be fucking bad. It can't be fucking bad. The truth cannot be fucking bad, right? It might hurt you. You might feel sad about the truth, but it's not bad. That teaches you to learn to deal with reality. Anyway, he's going to go on and talk about this, the reality of America at the moment. Don't worry about it, I'm going to talk about fucking Britain in a second as well, because this is important. It's a fucking really important point about what's going on in Britain at the moment as well. But I'm talking about, this guy is talking about his perspective in America and what people think about what happened between the South breaking away from fucking North America and what's going on now with flags and statues and shit, right? And I made a comment here, did I? I think I made a comment. Yeah. Let me just say this. If you were at an NFL game and some guy next to you was wearing a Redskins shirt and cheering for the Browns, would you think that was off? Something's off here? Yeah, you fucking would. What the fuck? I'm a Browns fan, you're all Browns. There's some fucking Redskins fan in here cheering for the... What the fuck's going on with this guy? You know what I mean? He couldn't afford it. He's moved for fucking Washington and Washington State, not DC. And now he's like, he's a Browns fan, but he couldn't afford a Browns shirt. Why didn't he just come plain clothes? What's he doing? Well, that doesn't know. Wouldn't you think something's off? Yeah, right. Then why do you think someone carrying a rebel flag from fucking, the southern states supports fucking America? I mean, that's a traitor fucking flag. It's a fucking traitor flag. They were the people who fucking fought the USA. The USA won that fucking war, and they're still carrying rebel flags about and saying, "Oh, we're Americans." No, you're fucking not. Not if you're waving a fucking rebel flag. You're a fucking traitor. Traitor to the fucking country, you bastard. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, you'd think that was fucking off, except people don't. Right, and he's going to explain what the fuck is going on.
This isn't a takeover video. It's just a discussion. Like the way intelligent and caring people speak with each other.
Yeah.
So, everybody calm down for a minute. Let's have a nice conversation. Everybody calm? Okay, here we go. What we have here is a failure to communicate and educate and articulate in this country, especially given everything that's going on right now. Now, follow me, because what I'm about to tell you is simply fact. This is not opinion. This is not my opinion. This is just fact based on actually happened. I'm not going to take a position because what's the point of that? So let's just lay the truth and reality and facts on the table and see what happens, shall we? But again, let's have a mature discussion. Let's be simple. Let's be smart. Let's put on our thinking caps. Let's straighten up and fly by. Let's only contribute to the conversation if you can behave like a human and not like an angry-faced eating baboon. Okay? Good. So listen up. Ever hear of Benedict Arnold? He was a traitor to our country. He gave information to the British during the Revolutionary War. He escaped and left the country. He was secretly supporting the British. We don't have buildings and forts and bridges and statues named for him. That's just a fact. Now, let's talk about the Civil War for a second. As simply as I could put it, a bunch of southern states decided to secede from the Union. Secede means to leave it. The Union was the United States of America. So, anyway, these states left the United States of America and formed their own country called the CSA, which stood for the Confederate States of America. The CSA literally became the enemy of the United States when the Civil War began. The soldiers they killed were United States Armed Forces. It's that simple. The CSA fought a war against the USA and they killed American soldiers during the war. So, like Benedict Arnold, one could come to the conclusion that because the CSA tried to take over the United States government, they were enemies. But they were traitors too because they were citizens who went against the government.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Right now, today, current generals in our military are saying it's wrong to have military bases named after Confederate officers for the very facts that I stated above. What's more, one general in particular called the Confederate soldiers traitors, which is, in all honesty, exactly what they were according to the definition of the word and the code of war. What would you call an American who tried to overthrow the government? I think it's called a traitor. So, the whole point of this is to ask the question, does the Confederate flag represent the South during the Civil War? Now,
Yeah.
hold that thought too. So NASCAR decides to condemn and eliminate the Confederate flag from all their events. They can do that because they are a private organization that made a decision they wanted to make. You know, just like the bakery owner who doesn't want to serve gay people. If you didn't have a problem with that, why do you have a problem with NASCAR?
And the Supreme Court upheld that. So companies can choose not to serve, and they can choose not to allow people with flags on their property.
The Confederate flag. Let's take a place like Alabama. So I get it that in like 1920, it was still relatively unchanged from 1861, and it was still rural, and lots of people were still alive from the Civil War, and the towns and communities were mostly white and had the same beliefs and values that they had during the Civil War and throughout Jim Crow. Jim Crow wasn't a bird, by the way, and you should Google that and find out what that was. In fact, I could argue that the South hadn't really changed even through the 1970s.
And I've just got to interject here as well and just say something else, right? A lot of people who support Trump and listen to Trump with his Kung Flu and his fucking China fucking spread this and gave it to us and all that, and we should punish China for it. Well, here's another thing you should fucking Google. Where did the Spanish flu come from in 1918? And you'll be surprised to know if you've never Googled it and don't know this fucking little, piece of fucking truth and fact. It came from America. It came from Kansas. The state of Kansas is the first place that anybody died or caught the Spanish flu. It wasn't called the Spanish flu back then. It was a flu that people had in Kansas. And, Americans went over to Europe during that period of 1918 and took it into Spain, and it blew into a pandemic, almost, maybe not a pandemic, but yeah, a pandemic. 50 million people died across the world. And, we're going to fucking punish America for that? Nobody wants to punish America for fucking the Spanish flu, do we? But it started in Kansas. So there, if you want to fucking punish China for fucking, the coronavirus, COVID-19, then you have to retroactively think back and say, well, maybe America needs to fucking pay the 50 million people who lost, 50 million families who lost someone. Maybe pay repatriation for them. Maybe we've got to punish America for that. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous, stupid, right? So, all use fucking Kung Flu fucking fuckers. Or use Trumpers with the Chinese virus on it. Fucking shut the fuck up. Unless you're going to go back and say, yeah, it's our fault for fucking the Spanish flu and 50 million people dying in 1918, right? 1919. Yeah. Well, if you don't want to go back and say that, well, we'll take responsibility for that, we're really sorry and apologise. And well, if you're not going to do that, then shut the fuck up.
70s. But now, fast forward to more modern times when Toyota comes in as an example and builds an auto plant in Alabama, and people from all around the world and executives from other parts of the United States are transferred to live and work in Alabama. And the communities surrounding the auto plant now change dramatically because the country is changing in so many ways at the same time. Look how sports and business and technology and all these things have allowed whites and blacks and all types of people to be friends and teammates and co-workers and even family today, all over the country. Times change. Lots of stuff. Even the Constitution has been amended over times because times
Yeah.
change. There's a reason why we don't see the governor of Alabama prevent a black person from entering college anymore, because times change. We evolve, we learn, we grow as a people, or we're supposed to, at least. Just because cavemen hit women over their head and dragged them back to the cave doesn't mean that's acceptable today. Times change. We had prohibition once, yeah. It was started by a religious movement that actually was able to get the Constitution amended and make alcohol legal. Was that a conspiracy started by the church? Oh, they're taking away my right to drink. Imagine if prohibition was put into place today. Just imagine that shitstorm. But prohibition wouldn't happen today. Why? Because times change. Now I understand that the Confederate flag has been argued to have many different meanings. It was the battle flag of Robert E. Lee. It's about pride in the Southern heritage. But it was also the flag of a group of states that went to war to preserve slavery. That's the truth. The flag is what it is, and the South did what they did. That's just fact. Look, it's like having a neighbor who gets arrested for having women chained in his basement. Oh, but he was such a nice person. Oh, he kept his yard so nice. Oh, he was always so helpful to the older folks next door. Yes, I get it.
They
He
still
also
chain
had
women
women
up in his
chained
fucking
in his
basement, yeah.
The Confederate flag has some nice meanings, but it also represents a form of hate and racism that existed in the South. The flag flew proudly over plantations and in cities and states that supported and fought for slavery. That's just a fact. And please do not use the argument that removing the statues is trying to erase history. Nobody can erase American history. History is recorded in a million books and in the archives and in museums and in the letters and the speeches that were written back then by both sides. So history is there for anyone to learn about it if they want to. The argument is, why have statues of people who tried to overthrow the United States, who fought for slavery, on display in public areas?
Here's another thing as well. I think there's a comment down here I've seen. Is it that? I'm sure it's this one. Yeah. To strengthen Vic's point, Germany doesn't have statues of Hitler anywhere. Right? And he actually ruled the country, the whole country at the time. But they don't have statues of Hitler anywhere. They don't have any SS fucking, shit in their fucking, or swastikas flying in. They don't have any of that shit in Germany. It's illegal. And it's illegal for a fucking reason. This guy Hitler destroyed fucking Germany with his bullshit. And, yeah, the southern fucking states rose up against the northern states. They were defeated. They were traitors against fucking the United States of America. They changed to the Confederate States. Well, America, is it a confederacy? Is it? No. It's a United States of America, not the Confederate States. So, who won the fucking war? The United States of America won the war. Anybody who fought on the other side should be termed as a traitor to the fucking United States.
You need a statue to go learn about American history?
No.
Look, please form your own opinions. That's what America is all about. You always have that right, but at least be educated. Understand what the Constitution says and what free speech means and why a private organization has the right to ban a flag they find offensive. Hey, look, life is complicated. Sometimes decisions aren't easy, but sometimes you have to step outside your little box, your own comfort level, and think about the big picture. If you disagree, do it like a mature adult. Nobody needs your hateful, ignorant responses. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
So that's Vic. Something else I was going to go and show you was one of the most recent videos from MSNBC. So this is your fucking president, right? Your fucking president of the United States.
Russia secretly offered Afghan militants bounties to kill U.S. troops. This is This is sort of stunning. Here's the lead. American intelligence officials have concluded that a Russian military intelligence unit secretly offered bounties to Taliban-linked militants for killing coalition forces in Afghanistan, including targeting American troops, amid the peace talks to end the long-running war there, according to officials briefed on the matter. The U.S. concluded months ago that the Russian unit had covertly offered rewards for successful attacks last year. Islamist militants or armed criminal elements closely associated with them are believed to have collected some bounty money.
Well, Russia paid
20 Americans were killed in combat in
criminals
Afghanistan
to
in
kill
2019 last
American
year,
soldiers.
but it was not clear which killings were under suspicion.
Bounty on American
Intelligence
heads.
finding was briefed to President Trump, and the White House's National Security Council discussed
I
the
can't
problem
believe
at an
this.
interagency meeting in late March, according to these officials.
And he did
Officials
nothing about
developed
it.
a menu of potential options, starting with making a diplomatic complaint to Moscow and a demand that it stop, along with an escalating series of sanctions and other possible responses. But despite having created that menu of potential options for the president, quote, the White House has yet to authorize any step. The officials did not explain the White House delay in deciding how to respond to the intelligence about Russia. Yeah, raise your hand if you think you might be able to explain that delay from the White House. I mean, this is jaw-dropping. This is like kind of sickening news, right? Even for those of us whose jaws are already sprained from having dropped so far and so frequently this summer.
I just have to reiterate this point, right? The Russians have been found to be paying Afghanistan, Taliban, the enemies of America, paying them bounties to attack and kill American soldiers. Trump is told about that in March this year, and he's been offered a number of options that he can use in order to respond to this news, this intelligence that he's been given by his intelligence sources in the military. And he's decided since March to do absolutely nothing about it. Nothing. And I think he's actually visited, he made a speech in one of your, your colleges of excellence for military leaders and stuff, didn't he? He did that, and he's going out and talking about COVID-19 and walking down the ramp. For 15 minutes he talked about why walking down the ramp isn't supposed to make him look bad. Who gives a fuck? This is important fucking shit. American soldiers were targeted by your enemies because they were being paid by Russia to target them. Russia was paying your enemies to kill your American soldiers. Trump's told about this, and he does nothing about it since March this year. That's like at least 3 months, but he's done nothing. Nothing in 3 months. God damn, you remember Benghazi? Remember the fiasco with Benghazi? The investigations into it. Did Hillary Clinton know about it and say nothing? Do you remember that? You know what I mean? He's the president of the United States. He's been told of this and done nothing. Fuck me.
I mean, if this Times report is correct, this means that U.S. intelligence has concluded that Vladimir Putin is offering bounties for the scalps of American soldiers in Afghanistan. Not only offering money
paid
to
for some of
Americans,
them,
but some of the bounties that Putin has offered have been collected, meaning the Russians at least believe that their offering cash to kill Americans has actually worked to get some Americans killed. The Russians at least believe, if these bounties have been paid out, that the people to whom they have offered this money have successfully gone out and killed American soldiers because of it, and the Russians have therefore paid for that service. And President Trump was told about this in March, and he has done nothing about it. He was given, what did they describe it as, a menu of possible responses. And so far, he has chosen off the menu that he'll have none of it. Thank you. He'll do nothing. I mean, there are 20 American families grieving today, grieving right now, because their American soldier, their dad or mom or son or daughter or brother or sister, was killed in combat in Afghanistan in the past year. Imagine you're a member of one of those families, and you have just found out that Russia may have paid for the death of your loved one, cash money paid as a reward for killing an American soldier. Imagine that American soldier was a member of your family. And now you know, from this reporting in the New York Times, which has since been confirmed by the Wall Street Journal, that not only does the president know that Russia was paying for American soldiers' deaths, paying rewards for Americans dead. The president knows it, he's been told, and what he's done with that information since he was briefed on it in March is, well, what has he done to Russia since then? Well, there was that unexpected and apparently friendly conversation he had with Vladimir Putin on June 1st. We learned about that from the Kremlin. According to the Kremlin, what they discussed on that call was how much Russia would please like to be allowed back into the G7. President Trump then got off that call with Vladimir Putin and immediately started publicly calling for Russia to be allowed back into the G7. Remember why they were kicked out in the first place? They were kicked out for invading a neighboring country and taking part of it for themselves. The rest of the countries in what was then the G8 decided that a country like that, Russia, could not be part of this elite club of countries that work together on big economic issues, not if Russia was going to behave like that. Right? That's why they're kicked out of the G8. That's why it became the G7. And of course Russia wants back into the G8. Of course they do. There's a reason why they were kicked out, though, right? And think about this timeline, right? President Trump gets briefed in March that Russia is paying bounty money for dead American soldiers right now. And his response to that is nothing except a friendly call and please, hey, everybody, let's now do this nice thing for Putin and let him back into this elite club of major countries. Oh, and what else did he do? Right after that, he announced unilaterally that he wants to pull thousands of U.S. troops out of Germany, which has freaked out even congressional Republicans because of how much it is widely viewed to be a unilateral strategic gift to Russia, one that would undermine NATO, which is Russia's main geostrategic imperative, and would directly benefit Putin in exchange for nothing. That's how President Trump is standing up for Americans being killed for rubles paid by Putin's government. You know, there's been this long string of resignations from the Trump administration over the past few weeks, which haven't received much notice, right? The head of the criminal division of the Justice Department resigned. The head of the civil division of the Justice Department resigned. Solicitor General resigned. Top financial person at the Pentagon resigned. The top Pentagon person on international security issues resigned. The top two technology people at the Pentagon also resigned. This whole string of resignations has kind of gone unremarked upon, but we have also just learned that the person who runs the Russia desk at the National Security Council, the senior director for Russia at the National Security Council, also just resigned as well.
See, Trump keeps saying to people, we've got all the best fucking people, right? But all I see in his administration is people who are basically like, they've been there for like 10, 15 years, you know, they are really well versed in how to deal with the political intrigue between America and the rest of the world. They're all fucking getting the fuck out of there because he's tying their hands, he's making sure they can't do anything. He's making sure that any policies that they had in place in order to fucking project, you know, American power and prestige around the world, he's destroying that. And these people are just saying, I can't put up with this anymore. I might as well just go. You know, if I can't do my job, I might as well go and work elsewhere. These are people that have been in jobs, positions of power, projecting American power, you know, soft and hard, overseas for decades. And they're all stepping down and getting out of the way because Trump is a complete fucking idiot. So...
And I mean, that's been a pretty
We'll
hot
finish this
seat
up
in
quickly,
this particular
right?
administration. Trump has burned through 4 different people in that job already in less than 4 years. But the 4th one just left, suddenly and with no explanation. But now we know that that resignation was not long after the National Security Council and Trump were told about Putin paying cash bounties for dead U.S. soldiers. And Trump did nothing about it in response for months and counting.
So that's your president.
Is a grand solar minimum coming?
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Back.
Is a grand solar minimum coming?
Yeah, I just really like. We're already in a solar minimum. What the fuck coming? Been in a grand solar minimum for fucking several years now. 10 years. I think it's a 16-year fucking cycle. We've got 6 years of a grand solar minimum to go. We're actually coming out of it and it's starting to get warmer. So yeah. Right, and people say, well, the sun was responsible for all the fucking heating. No, it wasn't. The sun has been cold for fucking 10 years. And it's starting to warm back up. We're going to see huge amounts of fucking new impacts of heat. You know what I mean? Anyway, I didn't queue stuff up, but I'm just going to talk about this guy, fucking Britain, right? Boris fucking Johnson, right? We have I think I might have some stuff in here that I can pull up. Not real time, but I might be doing a bit further. I think it's a couple of days ago. Yeah, it's not them. Yeah, here we go. Analysis of Boris Johnson, man, right? Content disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in the media are correct.
I think Boris has totally lost the plot. I think the Bat's completely lost the belfry.
Bat's lost the belfry. I've not heard that one before, but yes, carry on.
Right, I couldn't make it.
I think Boris has totally lost the plot. I think the Bat's completely lost the belfry.
Bat's lost the belfry. I've not heard that one before, but yes.
I think it's left the belfry, but yeah.
Sorry. You know, you're talking about a guy that actually had coronavirus, spent 3 days in intensive care. You'd have thought that would have kind of thought, well, okay, I've had this illness, I'm going to be a little bit more wary about what I tell my constituents and the English public.
A lot of people said when he emerged from hospital that it might have changed him, or that it might have lent him a new depth, levels of gravitas. So,
well, to be honest with you, when he did come out of hospital, he did change. For about a week, he was making decisions that were basically in the interest of the British public. And then after a week, I suppose all these fucking crony motherfuckers running about him who are making millions out of the virus, making millions out of fucking government fucking contracts, talk to him and say, oh, you can't keep going like that. You know what I mean? If you get rid of it too quick, we're going to lose fucking money, blah, blah. We've got contracts going on for months, but it was all that, right? And then he changed. I seen when he came out from his illness, he was definitely thinking about how he could pull Britain together and sort it out. And then a week later, you start to see him change again back to his old fucking ways of giving in these fucking cronies. You know.
I mean, I like you would need a lot of convincing that had actually happened. But what do you think? What do you think he means when he tells leaders of seaside councils to show some guts?
I've got absolutely no idea, James. I've given up with him.
Well, that's not good enough, Louise.
MP, so I've been self-isolating ever since lockdown started, and I'm also asthmatic. So any kind of means of me going to a beach anytime soon is just like a plain luxury. I'd love to be able to.
But the problem is when you go out about your business and you try and observe the guidelines, you don't know whether that person over there is just run in front of you on the pavement, or that person over there breathing down your neck in the supermarket queue. They might have been at the beach yesterday. That's the problem, isn't it? I think it is. Isn't it?
Exactly.
Did you like him
you know-
before? You don't have to answer that, but I did. I voted for him to be mayor of London in 2008. I fell for the kind of the bumbling, buffoonish act, and to my embarrassment, I fell for it completely briefly. But did you like the cut of?
Yeah, I've got to say, I didn't think James O'Brien fucking voted for Boris Johnson for mayor and all that. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I'm an idiot fucking Scotsman, but I knew this fucker. I knew where he came from. I knew the fucking school he went to, the people he fucking went to school with. I fucking knew him, and I knew it was all a fucking act. James O'Brien's not a stupid guy, but you voted for him for mayor in London. I really just don't know what to say about that, to be honest with you. I thought James O'Brien was a sensible, collected, thoughtful fucking man. Obviously, even people that I've got a respect for James. I don't like every single podcast he's done. He can often miss points when they're blatantly obvious from the speaker, and he goes off on. He's got his own agenda, and sometimes with podcasts or radio broadcasts and stuff like that, they've got to go away with their sort of the projection on their borders, you know what I mean? And I can see him going off on one sometimes when he's totally missing the point from his callers. So I'm not always fond of what James O'Brien says and his response to callers, but for the most part, I'm happy with him, you know. I'm happier with him than some of the fat bald guys that I see on the same fucking channel, you know.
Of his jib prior to this crisis?
I actually thought he made a better Blinken. What was it you just said he was?
Mayor of London.
Mayor
So
of
what, he was the
London,
Prime
yes.
Minister?
No.
Yeah,
It was a
well,
fucking horrible.
Yeah, totally.
It was a fucking horrible mayor.
My faith in politics is just completely gone. I mean, we're told one thing, so we adhere to that. Then something else crops up, so we adhere to that. I'm in a 2 and 8 over everything. I've got absolutely no idea whether I'm coming or going.
You've got a lovely way with words, Louise.
I personally think that I thought only women who were blonde were ditzy. I think he's just taking the bar a bit higher.
I get the sense that you've been under lockdown so long. You've been working on this material. You've been polishing this material for some time, and you're getting all your best lines out. You're getting all your best lines out while you're on the radio.
I have been waiting to talk to you. Now I finally have. I'm absolutely thrilled. And
Well, I'm the one that's thrilled.
As
Yes,
for
go on.
football,
Yeah, fill your boot.
if my team had actually kind of won a cup or anything, I wouldn't go out in public to celebrate. I'd be running around the lounge with my T-shirt over my head going, get in.
Who is your team, Louise?
Pompey.
Well, I think you're safe for a while.
And also, I support Saints as well because my very, very dear friend and neighbour who sadly died from esophageal cancer last year used to play in his teams professionally for Saints.
Well, there you go. That's a nice reason to have a loyalty to a club. I'm glad you've still got your sense of humour. You've got a lovely way with words. I need to translate, because we're a national station these days, I need to translate 2 and 8 for people not familiar with the beauties of rhyming slang. It means state, you see. So Louise is in a state. That's the rough translation. But
I'm Scottish and I fucking understand rhyming slang. Come on, guys.
I'm going to tell you to anyway. So stay safe, Louise. 26 minutes after 12 is the time. This phrase, I really want some help with it, because I think it's evidence, as Louise just suggested, and it is an important observation that she makes. This show some guts phrase does suggest that he hasn't learned anything or changed at all, despite his own brush with death towards the beginning of this outbreak. You remember he was on holiday for half of February, came back, boasted about shaking hands with COVID-19 parents. Maybe that's what show some guts means. We should all go and shake hands with people who are infected. I mean, I'm being glib, but until you tell me what it does mean, I haven't got a clue.
So yeah, we also have a leader who's a fucking idiot. To turn around and tell people of small local sea towns where they depend on, through the summer season, that's when the the shops would make their money. Well, these shops are all closed, but he's telling these fucking mayors of these towns to have some balls and to open up. The adverse of that is Scotland has had one death in the last week. One death from COVID-19 in the last week. And our Scottish Prime Minister, right, a Scottish leader, she's not the Prime Minister of Scotland, she's a leader of the main party in Scotland, right, the Scottish National Party. She is telling people that she's definitely opening up the economy, but she's going to do it slowly. We're not sending kids back to school, we're not opening restaurants, but we're going to open and allow some people to go back to work. But it's going to be slow, it's going to be cautious, we're going to test and track, you know, any spike we see in COVID infections. And only after we can see that the steady downward drive of the COVID infections is continuing, will she open up more parts of the economy. She's doing it in a small, tested, way, Whereas Boris Johnson have some guts. What? Just open everything up. Just let people come there. I mean, Europe's saying that they don't want as they open up, they don't want American visitors. We want visitors. I mean, Scotland desperately needs tourists to come back and restart the tourist industry. But I'm worried that Europe will ban America, Russia and Brazil, and Scotland, Britain, will allow Americans in, and then we will see a spike in infections because, well, I'm not saying that every American coming from there is going to be infected. Hopefully the kind of people who are going to still come and visit Britain would be the people who have been self-isolating and wearing masks, and they won't have the coronavirus. But we just don't know, and I'm not prepared to allow America to just send people over in planes to Britain until America gets its fucking shit in order, I'm all for what the leader of my country is doing. Not Boris Johnson, I mean the leader of Scotland, the SNP leader. I think she's doing a good job. I think she's being cautious, and it's always better to be cautious. You know what I mean? Rather than just flippant. Thinking, oh well, it's going down, so we can just open everything up and hope for the best is not a good plan. My auntie and Bury was saying they had over 100+ deaths in Bury, just in Bury. Bury's a small fucking place. Can I go to Google Bury, England, right? Bury, England, Google Maps, Bury, England, Google Map, right? I've too many G's. I need to fucking sort my. I need to strip my keyboard and clean it out with alcohol, evaporating alcohol to clean out the sticky shit. I spilled drinks on it as well. So here's Bury, right? Bury. So Bury is a small fucking town just outside Manchester, you can see, right? This is the United Kingdom, right? We have a border up here, about here, right? Carlisle, yeah. We have a border going across here, and north of that is Scotland, right? So we have had one death in the whole of fucking Scotland, and this small place here, Bury, Bury, over 100+ deaths. 100+ deaths in this small area, and I guarantee there were deaths in Manchester, Liverpool, Nottingham, London, Oxford, maybe not so much Oxford, but But yeah, the major centres like Manchester, Liverpool, London, maybe Coventry because it's a path through to get to London. So all these places, they're all going. Nottingham's going to have, you know what I mean. I don't know about all these outlying areas, Brighton, Portsmouth. I don't really know what see, this is what I'm upset about as well. I can't really find a breakdown in Britain of COVID infection rates or deaths. They give you a UK, sort of like death rate and infection rate, but from what I understand, right, Scotland has got like almost a zero death rate and a very low infection rate. So does Northern Ireland and so does Wales. But England is the main fucking infection for the whole of Britain. So whenever we see we've still got like 3,000, infections a day and, several hundred deaths a day, it's all basically in England. It's all fucking in England. We got one in Scotland in a week. I don't know if there's any deaths in Northern Ireland, to be honest with you. Nor Wales. I can't find a breakdown of the four nations. We should be able to break down how many people have been reported dead or infected in these countries. But all I can get is a UK count. And for what I understand, when people are talking about some major parties going on in Liverpool. Where's Liverpool? Liverpool, apparently over the last week, they had some sporting event there, people went out and partied, and lots of people got infected, right? And this is what I'm talking about, man. Liverpool, Manchester, Sheffield, you know what I mean? Probably Birmingham and London, major hotspots for fucking infection. And this is what's fucking driving the UK fucking figures. Now, they need to fucking treat these places different from fucking, Southampton or Brighton or Plymouth. They need to, these are major city hubs that main train routes go through and people gather and and all that. We need to change our attitude in Britain. And Boris Johnson needs to fucking do his fucking job and crush this. Get it done, you know what I mean? Europe, the whole of Europe, I don't know if we're counted in Europe, but in the whole of Europe, right, something like 540 million people, 4,000 deaths this week. 4,000 in a week. America, I think it was 27,000 deaths this week. And America's only 500,000 people. Right, so it's comparable. So 4,000 to 27,000, right? What the fuck is going on in America? I mean, look, I don't hate American people, man. But your government is a fucking ludicrous asshole, man. Ludicrous fucking asshole. And my God, the map of America and the states that are getting it is all the south and the west, right? The north is starting to come down. They've got control of it, but they're not willing to let all this other infection come back there. You know what I mean? So, because people ran away from New York and went to live with relatives in all these states, right? Probably took the virus there, and then New York's got control of it, and now it's rising in these states, and all these people, guaranteed, all these people who left New York are all going to run back to fucking New York. And that's why they're saying that we want to, if you come in for one of these states, we're going to put you into a 14-day quarantine. Because we need to know that you're not bringing it back from one of these high fucking infected states back into, and fucking have a second wave there as well. Not a second wave, but a second surge of the first wave. We're not even out of the first wave, you know what I mean? Shit. And this is what I'm worried with Britain as well, because we are opening up, but England's opening up like America is. They're opening up all kinds of things, and they've not even got control of it yet fully. The only reason that Britain looks good is because Scotland, Ireland and Wales have controlled their, And you've got to remember, these are different countries. This is Wales, right? There's a border that goes down here from Bristol up to about Liverpool. There's a border and that's Wales, right? It's a very small country. And then you've got Northern Ireland, even smaller. And then you've got Scotland, there's a border here. We've got Scotland. Like, Scotland's quite wild, but it's only got like 5.5 million, 6 million people. Not a huge country, maybe 6.5 million, I don't know. Somewhere between 5 and 6.5 million people in Scotland. But so we've got a small, so about 15 million people or something like that, 48, 50 million people in England. And they're the ones that are spreading the disease in the United Kingdom. England has not got a handle on it yet. Because fucking London, where our fucking national fucking government sits, hasn't fucking done the right fucking job. And they're still not doing the right fucking job. They're being very Trumpist about this. He did for the first week when he caught the disease and he was recovering and stuff like that. He had listened to doctors and and then he got away from the medical. He recovered. He got away from the medical and he got into the political realm again. He started to talk to politicians and fucking, rich motherfuckers that own everything, and they were saying, "Oh, you can't do that. I'm going to go bankrupt. You know what I mean? If you don't fucking do this, that." And he started going back to that. Let's open up. Oh, a few people die, but who cares? Same idea as Trump. Oh, a few people die. A few. He's talking about tens of thousands of people. In America, anyway, we're talking about thousands of people, but we're talking about tens of thousands in America. These people do not deserve to fucking hold power, if that's their fucking attitude. It beggars belief, man, that these people have any fucking ability to keep power, man. Why are the other politicians who have, well, in Britain it's easier, they can just have a vote of no confidence and kick him out. Why they're not doing it, I don't fucking know. We need to get that Boris Johnson fucker out of there, man, And in America, you just need to pressure Trump to resign. You need to. The Republicans and Democrats, you need to pressure that fucker to get him to resign. He's been a complete fucking failure. But anyway, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen over the next 2-3 months, but I have huge qualms about America. I can see you hitting 180, 200,000 dead. You know what I mean? In the next 2-3 months. This pales in comparison of the wars you've been in the last fucking 20 years. The death rate pales in comparison. For people to say it's just like the common flu, no, it's fucking not. This is like 16 weeks, 127,000 people dead in 16 weeks. That's not flu. Fuck me. They talk about like 200,000 people die of flu a year. That's 12 months. We're talking about 16 weeks. We're talking about 3 or 4 months. You've got half the deaths of the whole year of the flu. And it's not just old people. It's not just old people. The flu normally kills, about 100, 200,000 old age pensioners. They don't fucking kill kids and fucking 20 and 30 and 40 year olds. It just doesn't. This fucking coronavirus does. It's a completely different fucking thing. Anyway, so I think maybe I was going to show you something else as well. No, it's I think there's one more video that I wanted to show you. This one I don't. No, that's the black people. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't want to talk about Black Lives Matter. I mean, that's a whole other fucking bag of shit in America. Racism and shit. It's endemic and systemic. What was it? I had another video that was thinking of showing a little bit or something. Yeah. This is Donald Trump about. He's running for president of the United States for a second term.
Speaking of Donald Trump and his potential re-election, we heard that Bill Barr wanted to quash part of Michael Cohen's conviction in the same way that he's been doing with Flynn and with Roger Stone. That's the reason why. And I think Donald Trump, the only thing that he has is stay out of jail, so he can't really name anything.
So let's go. This is Donald Trump being interviewed about.
If you hear in 131 days from now, at some point in the night or early morning, we can now project Donald J. Trump has been reelected the 45th president of the United States. Let's talk. What's at stake in this election as you compare and contrast? And what are your top priority items for a second term?
Well, one of the things that will...
What are your top priority for a second term? For instance, you've just found out you're going to be re-elected president for a second term. What are your priorities? What are you going to do for America and the American people?
Will be really great. You know, the word experience is still good. I always say talent is more important than experience. I've always said that. But the word experience is a very important word. It's a very important meaning. I never did this before. I never slept over in Washington. I was in Washington, I think, 17 times. All of a sudden...
What the hell has this got to do with the question? What is your priorities for your second term in office? And he goes on about qualifications and you know, bullshit, no, blah blah blah, word salad crap, right? So what are you going to do for America? And you're sitting there, what are your priorities? Is it going to be the economy, getting people back to work, police reform? What's your priorities? You know what I mean? Strengthening the military, passing a bill for fucking healthcare, Republican healthcare bill. What is your priorities in your second term?
I'm president of the United States. You know the story. I'm riding down Pennsylvania Avenue with our first lady, and I say, this is great. But I didn't know very many people in Washington. It wasn't my thing. I was from Manhattan, from New York. Now I know everybody. And I have great people in the administration. You make some mistakes, like, an idiot like Bolton, all he wanted to do is drop bombs on everybody. You don't have to drop bombs on everybody. You don't have to kill people.
If John Bolton, in fact, released classified material, should he be prosecuted?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, he did release classified. Actually...
What had any of that to do with his second term? What the hell? You know what I mean? What you going to do in the second term? Blah, 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 this. You know what I mean? Oh, riding down with my wife and saying this is great. I didn't know anybody in Washington. I got there and I know lots of people. Oh, I know the best people. Yeah, really? You keep fucking sacking them. You keep employing and sacking the best people. What's wrong with them? Are they the best people? If they are the best people, then why do you keep fucking sacking them? Surely if you employed the best people at the start 3 years ago and you've sacked them all, are we down to like the third or fourth best people by now? So what are you on about the best people? What the fuck? What had any of that to do with the question? What is your priorities in your next term of office? What are you going to promise the people that you're going to concentrate on? What are the things you're going to do to make people in America's lives better? And that was his answer. He ended up on Bolton. He talked a lot about how he felt about being president, but so we're going to re-elect you so you can feel good about being president again? Is that your fucking, priority? Nothing about the American people, nothing about America, nothing about dealing with the COVID, nothing to deal with fucking, unemployment, nothing to deal with anything, just me. Me. Oh, how I feel. Oh, I thought so. I want to have that feeling again, driving there and going, oh, this is great. Really? How is that going to help any of the American people? The 40 million people who are out of a job. The economy fucking crashing. People fucking dying in their thousands. What? You want to feel good about fucking getting re-elected? That's your priority?
That's it. That's his second term agenda. He knows people.
He didn't know anyone before.
he didn't know anybody before, but the implication is that I'm going to get stuff done this time because I know people, but I don't have any ideas as to what I want to get done. The bottom line is he wants to stay out of prison.
Yeah, maybe I'm imagining this, but there's sort of a sunkenness to his. He doesn't think he's going to win. Like, it seems like he can't even put his heart in the answer to that question because I don't think he believes.
It seems like he's in review mode already, like how great a president he was. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what's going on with Bill Barr and all these. He is trying to get to the point where he has to do as little pardoning as possible, so that that they don't have the ability to go out and testify against him.
I don't know about that. I mean, anything to do with that, no pardoning people. It's a president's fucking about it. But you know, that's it's not a thing, right? There was something else I think I was going to bring up as well. Was another? Was it? It may have been. Oh yeah, right. Right. You should love this guy and you should fucking go and follow him, man. If any of you out there listening and watching, go and follow this guy. Old Fat Rants is fucking spot fucking on me a lot of this shit. You know,
hey everybody, it's Old Fart, your old buddy.
Yeah.
How you doing? Well, it's been a while since I posted a video, and as I always seem to have to say when I do, it's because it's impossible to keep up with the shit show that is the Trump administration. It's chaos and mayhem on steroids times a million. I mean, just think about what's happened in the past few weeks and try to make a list. And things aren't getting better, they're getting worse. And honestly, just thinking about it exhausts me. So let me try to sum it all up like this. I am deeply worried about where we are right now, because as long as Trump and Pence and Barr and Mitch McConnell and the rest of the fascist Republican bootlickers aren't in prison, our country is in grave danger.
They're not going to go to
All
prison.
the guardrails for the rule of law are under attack.
I like this guy, but he does get a bit hyperbolic, right? There's no way that Trump, Barr, Pence, or any of the other Republicans are going to end up in jail after this administration leaves office. Trump might find himself in some financial problems because they're going to find out how he tried to monetize his presidency, and he might get huge fines, from a court or something. But he's not going to go to. Let's face it, Trump is not going to go to jail when he leaves office. That's just not going to happen. I don't even think a lot of the Democrats would vote for that because it sets a very bad precedent. Right? Precedent. But yeah, I do believe that he is going to face some financial concerns when he leaves office. That's a different thing. I do believe he's going to be sued by, if not just people, but corporations who will find out how he manoeuvred the system against them and cost them money. I mean, I'm talking about people like Amazon, who when Trump leaves office, will have the ability to sue him for the actions he took in office to denigrate them and cost them money. That is a thing that could happen, and I do believe that even the Supreme Court, we stuffed with conservative judges, will have to, when it's argued in front of them, agree that Trump abused his power and that he damaged these companies. And they can't say no because when a Republican working company speaks out against the government, they will be arguing the same precedents. So they can't negate those precedents, they have to uphold them in order to make sure that Republican corporations and stuff like that can get that same judicial recompense, you know what I mean? So, but I think it's a bit overblown. They're not going to go to jail, but there might be financial problems for Trump and maybe even Pence if he supported You know, I don't know. I would have to look back and look over a lot of the stuff that Pence says. But Pence is in trouble as well. I've got to tell you, Pence is in terrible trouble. I think his political career is over. He's not going to be able to run for presidency or anything like that. Pence's political career is over after the Trump presidency, definitely. And I do believe that the Trump presidency is over. I don't believe that he's got any chance of getting re-elected. And everybody who tied themselves to his coattails, a lot of Republican governors and Republican senators and House representatives, their careers are in jeopardy as well, and they know it now. And I don't think they know anything other than to try and cheat the elections with their bullshit fucking, you know what I mean? 6 million people having to vote at one fucking election fucking, you know, centre, that is, you know, electoral centre or voting centre. You know, just you can't do that, man. They're going to try, but I mean, I hope that a lot of these states will fight this before the actual election and make sure that voting by mail is not fucking negated, and that they stop these fucking what do you call it, voter roll fucking, you know, purges. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The Democrats are very fucking stupid in America, and they don't seem to know what battle to fight at the right time. So what, you know? But anyway, let's continue with. I like old fart. He's fucking he's intelligent, but he did get a bit hyperbolic. Yeah.
And our freedom and democracy itself are on the brink of going extinct.
This is a bit hyperbolic.
It's unbelievably depressing and literally terrifying, especially when there are so many stupid people who think destroying everything this country stands for is patriotic. I mean, how fucking stupid do you have to be to think that when the goddamn president of the United States says, well, if we didn't do so many tests, we wouldn't have so many COVID cases.
This is another thing with the test, right? You can test and find out who's got COVID, and then you can track the people they were you know, had interactions with over the past week or two when they were probably infected, and you can find out who they were in contact to, and you can quarantine those people, and that crushes the virus, right? I think he's being a bit hyperbolic here with you know, what he's saying, but yeah, it's true. You need to do testing, and because you don't test, I mean, if you stop testing, people are still getting infected. You know what I mean? It's the fact that you're not testing and finding out who's infected doesn't mean people aren't getting infected. So yeah, that bullshit about Trump saying we're testing millions of people, more than the world, and if we just didn't test them, there wouldn't be anybody infected. No, they would still be infected, you just wouldn't know who they were. And you wouldn't be able to track who they infected and quarantine them and stop the infection. They would just go across the world, you know, across America, infecting more people. So basically, if you don't test and quarantine people and track people, you know, and quarantine them, you're just allowing the virus to spread uncontrollably. Testing has a purpose, and it's not to put the COVID-19 infected rate up. It's to find out who's infected and know who you've got to quarantine. That's the fucking premise behind it, you know what I mean? Anyway.
That he's actually making sense. And it's even worse than that. I give you Exhibit A.
We cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people. It literally is killing people. And the people are waking up, and we...
Yeah, masks aren't killing people. How the fuck does a mask kill people? These are the people who think, oh, you can't breathe through a mask. Then there's a guy behind you. Why is he not dead?
We know what citizen's arrest is, because citizen's arrests are already happening.
Oh, citizen's arrest. Oh, they're already happening. People are arresting people, citizen's arrest. And what? Who? Who's been citizens arrested? I haven't seen any videos of that on the fucking, you know, the internet.
Okay? And you, doctor, are going to be arrested for crimes against humanity.
Crimes against humanity? Oh, my. What he's like injecting people with COVID-19 to see how quickly they die or something. What is it he's doing, girl? Why is that doctor doing
Every single one of
crimes
you
against
have
humanity?
a smirk behind that little mask.
How do you know they're smirking behind that? They've got a mask on. How do you know that she's just projecting now?
But every single one of you are going to get punished by God.
Oh, by God, yeah. Why is God not getting rid of the fucking virus? Why is God allowing the virus? You maybe think maybe he's punishing you Christians for not actually being Christian.
You cannot escape God, not even with the mask or 6 feet. Okay? 6 feet, like I said before, is military protocol. You're trying to get the people, train them, so when the cameras, the 5G comes out, what?
Oh, the 5G. Oh my God, the 5G. The 5G, it's radiating people with COVID-19. That's what it does. The 5G is broadcasting COVID-19 through the air and airwaves, radio waves. And it's like, so, well, how is it not going out through the radio and your mobile phone that's not on 5G? So, how is it only 5G that's broadcasting it? What the fuck?
They're gonna scan everybody. We got to get scanned. We got to get temperatured. The kids have to go to school with masks. Are you insane?
What the fuck is you on about? We're all going to get scanned and temperature tested. No. You only get that if you go into a place that's doing that test, or go to like a state or government organised testing site where you got to drive through and find out if you're ill. You don't, we're not forcing every member of society to do it. I mean, if you don't want to go there and get tested, you don't have to go. Nobody's coming around and saying, "Oh, this is your date and time to go and get tested." I mean, there's your slip, and you better be there, or we're going to come and arrest you and beat you to death with a fucking nightstick. Nobody's doing that. What the fuck?
Because none of you know what the hell you are all talking about. What happened to Bill Gates?
I don't think she knows what she's talking about. And this is going to prove the point. I love that old fat put this up, right? Now she's going to go into Bill Gates and Hillary Clinton and why they're not all in jail for, I don't know, something horrible, terrible they did. They obviously must have murdered hundreds of Americans or something. They're obviously like serial killers, you know what I mean? Bill Gates and Hillary Clinton are serial murderers, and why haven't they been arrested yet or some fucking thing? Is it? Or is it just right-wing conspiracy theories about fucking the pizza shop that wasn't a fucking, pedophile ring, or Benghazi, which they've had, what 5 fucking inquiries into it and still found no evidence that she did it.
Why is he not in jail? Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail? Why are all of these pedophiles that are demanding you all to listen to their rules? Why are they not in jail? Oh, is it because you're part of them? Are you part of the deep state?
Time has expired.
The deep state is going down, and if any of you are in the deep state, you're going down with it.
The deep state. I keep hearing this from right-wingers. Deep state. What is the deep state? Well, basically, it's any political or public servant who doesn't agree with their racist, right-wing, white nationalist policies. Basically, you're a deep state if you don't believe in that. You know what I mean? If you're not on our side, then you're the deep state. You're controlled by the Illuminati.
Holy fucking
shit! Yeah.
125,000 Americans are dead. But tell me about Benghazi again. Tell me again how Hillary should be locked up for her negligence when your so-called president gasses peaceful protesters for a photo op, or exposes his own supporters to a deadly virus at a rally just to help his re-election.
See, those are things though. Benghazi, how many people died in Americans? I think it was 4 or 5 Americans died in Benghazi. And Hillary Clinton is supposed to go to jail because of her incompetence of not dealing with it. 127,000 people in America will die because of Trump's inability. You know, his incompetence. As president, I mean, she wasn't even president. She was, what was it? She was, what do you call that? She dealt with overseas fucking business, right? She wasn't even president, but she's got to go to jail for four Americans dying, 5 Americans dying in fucking Benghazi. Oh, no, she knew about it. She didn't do anything about it. And Trump was warned about this in fucking January. He was warned about in March. He was warned about fucking Russia paying for fucking soldiers, American soldiers to be targeted and murdered. Fucking basically bounties on their head by the Russians. Has done nothing for 3 months. So, I think it was 20 American soldiers died in 2019. And they might all have died because Russia was paying people a bounty on American soldiers' heads. So there's 20 people that Trump's responsible for by not doing anything. Because this was last year. Democrats weren't in the presidency last year. Trump was. You know what I mean? And he'd been told about it in March and done nothing about it. And 127,000 people died since fucking, January this year of COVID-19. And Trump keeps saying it's just magically going to go away. He's got a new God or something, and God's promised him that, I'm just going to sweep it all away, you know what I mean? Just put a red fucking mark on your doorstep or some fucking thing, and cow's blood or lamb's blood or some fucking thing, you know what I mean? And I'm going to make it all go away. I don't know, what the fuck is Trump going on about? It's going to magically disappear because it's getting hot. Actually, heat and high humidity actually helps to spread the fucking virus, especially if people are not wearing masks. Because someone not wearing a mask walking in front of you breathes into the air. It's humid and warm, it hangs in the air for a certain length of time. You walk through that without a mask, you're breathing it in. So this is all bullshit, fucking.
Or wants to take
But
away
let's finish
medical
up.
insurance for 20 million people right in the middle of a pandemic, just to stick it to Obama.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Why is Obamacare? Why is it the Affordable Care Act? Why did they have to go? Do you remember Trump saying that no, we're not doing anything about what do you call that? Conditions. You know what I mean? Preconditions, right? We're not doing anything to take it away. Well, yeah, if you and he's got lawyers fighting now in court cases now, to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which will do away with protections against, the insurance company taking away your coverage because you've got a precondition, you know what I mean? So he talked all about that for 2 years. When he got elected, the first and second year, it was all about, we're going to have a great Republican, new fucking ideas for Medicaid, and we're going to keep fucking, protection for, preconditions, and now he's just wanting to, knock it down and get rid of it. So, he's a fucking liar.
And own the libs. That's not negligence. That's what a cruel, heartless sociopath does. We're up against a bunch of fucking Nazis, criminals, and liars.
Yeah, I did say that.
All the levers of power, and will do.
I did say that, I like old fuck that, but he is a bit hyperbolic. But I can understand him being hyperbolic. He lives in America and he lives under this regime. I live in Britain. I'm a bit pissed off with fucking Boris Johnson. I've already showed some clips about him. He's a fucking idiot. And he needs to fucking get his acting right. And he is very Trumpish with this idea of telling mayors of cities to get tough and get hard and, have some backbone and all that. He wants them to open up their economies and stuff. Right now, just open everything up, just let everybody go back to work. Well, we've seen what happened in fucking Texas, Arizona, Florida, you know what I mean? Several other states, you know what I mean, when they did this. Yeah, people are fucking catching COVID and their hospitals are flooded now. There's a lot of hospitals, like, Texas didn't have any fucking ICU unit left, you know what I mean? I think Arizona is the same. Florida is probably the same. I mean, they are being fucking inundated with people being sick, you know what I mean? And it's like, Trump, yeah. Oh, when a kid comes in with a sniffle, they say it's corona. No, that's bullshit. This is people coming in, they can't fucking breathe. You know what I mean? They've got a fucking respiratory fucking illness called COVID-19. You know what I mean? It's a fucking disease. The virus isn't COVID-19. The disease is COVID-19. The fucking disease is SARS-2. Fuck me, man. Just read a little bit and fucking look it up and you can fucking find out. You know what I mean?
Do anything and everything possible to rig the next election with help from our enemies and the unmitigated support of bombastic morons like the one you just saw who are allowed to vote. I don't know what's worse, the corruption or the stupidity that enables it. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. So let's try to have a good laugh. Let's try to come up with a few good memes we can all share to point out just what a complete joke Donald Trump is. Here's a few to get things started. If we stopped using pregnancy tests, there would be less babies. If we stopped using thermometers, nobody would have a fever. If we stopped using scales, we'd have fewer overweight people. If we stopped having birthday parties, nobody would get older. And you know that Great Wall that Mexico is definitely going to pay for? Well, we don't need it because if we stopped checking people's immigration status,
there would be no illegal immigrants. Yeah, in the end, you know what I mean?
Problem solved.
Solved.
Now, believe it or not, these little phrases actually do get through to the brainwashed Trump supporters. You sure as hell can't talk sense to them. I've used a couple of them with pretty good results because they're pretty easy to work into regular conversation.
Yeah.
They don't see it coming. Like if somebody's complaining about gaining weight or getting older or them...
Diabetes testing. Let's not test for diabetes, you know what I mean? Then we'll get the diabetes fucking plague, you know what I mean? Yeah.
All for your support over the years. It really means a lot to me. I hope my videos are still interesting and entertaining
They are.
for you. You know, making them used to be a lot easier back in the day when things didn't change so fast. The danger wasn't as imminent as it is now, and we had time to think instead of being freaked out every 15 minutes. So thanks again, and please make sure to rate and subscribe and ring that little bell so you won't miss any future uploads, and also please share my videos with your friends.
Alright, so I love this guy. He is a bit hyperbolic. I've got to say that I agree with that. But he lives in a country that I don't live in, and he's under pressures that I'm not under. I've got my own pressures that I've been dealing with, and I know how it affects me mentally and stuff. So yeah, I can get quite drunk and out of hand. It's like, this guy doesn't get drunk, but he's very hyperbolic at times. But I don't think a lot of the factual information he gives is wrong. I think his views on where America's going is a bit hyperbolic. Right? Okay, so. But,
and until we meet again, dear viewers, peace and love.
Peace and love. That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
He's an old hippie, man. I love it. Yeah. Anyway. Right, I don't want to put too much. You could make me. Anyway, I think. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all, guys. I think we're done. Right. I'm going to go and do other things. I've got to cook very shortly, and then I will be back later on, guys. After about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., I'm probably going to come on and do like a 4 or 5 hour Fishing Planet stream. Thank you very much, guys, for whoever popped in and watched me make this video. I just felt that today I needed to voice my opinions on some of these things, and I hope you can see where I'm coming from. It's from a good place. Our governments don't always have the best intentions for us. I can understand they are inundated with lots and lots of problems from all different areas of our country, you know, both in America and the US. So they're not always able to focus on what's important to the people. They are often distracted with what's important to government, what's important to, you know, government lack of funds at the moment, having to pay for lots of stuff and having no income. Corporations and people lobbying them for their interests and not being able to just, like, you know, ignore them or overlook them because they're the people who tend to pay for their re-election. So, you know, they are pressured from lots of angles. I can understand that, but politicians basically need to understand from the first premise, they get elected by the voter. And if you do something that's going to kill a lot of your voters, that could have a huge effect on your re-election, no matter if you've got the money to fucking put out, you know, advertisements. If your voters are dead, they can't vote for you. That's the first fucking point you should be looking at this fucking pandemic from. Keep as many of my voters alive as possible, and then you can worry about lobbyists and fucking corporations wanting their fucking shit done, you know. And you've got to let those lobbyists and those corporations know that. The first premise you need to let them know is your money for advertisements to get me elected doesn't matter if there's nobody there to fucking read those advertisements or see that fucking video. So fuck you, I've got to make sure there's people alive to vote the next election. That's your first fucking job. Keep the people alive. Right? Anyway, stand your fucking van, motherfuckers. I've been Terse. I'll be Terse again later. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching me play my games. Well, watch me do my video. I appreciate that. Nobody's chatted in the chat. You know, this is what happens. Anyway, cheers, guys. I will be back later. I will be playing Fishing Planet, and we'll get on to that. I did upload my video for catching a £220 fish, you know, a paima, and you can go and watch that on tersse on YouTube. I hope you do that. It's not monetized, so I don't care, you know, but go and have a look at it. It's a fantastic fight, and then I pull in a huge fish. It's fucking good, right? So anyway, thank you very much, guys. Cheers. I'll be back later. Thank you very much for watching.